I get talking about the game, I want to talk about our quarterback Tyler Staling, who has the knee injury and he's done for the season. We don't know if he'll require surgery or not yet. They're doing the MRI on him now. You know, I want to talk about a young man and his courage. You know, he was a one-year starter. He came. He threw 8 different starting lineups in an offensive line. All he did was show great courage of standing there, delivering the football. When receivers would get hurt, he'd stay out and throw with the receivers. He never complained. He just kept working. He is an amazing young man, and this football team will miss his play, and more importantly, we'll miss his leadership. He's an inspiration to me on how he handled this season with such dignity, and all he did was work. You know, he never complained, and it's a tribute to that young man. And, you know, it was really amazing. Last Wednesday, he had to leave practice early to go take a test, and JT Granado was sick and not practicing. And so the only quarterback we had left Wednesday was Jackson Tyner. So he got every rep with the 1 and every rep with the 2s. And from the tragedy of Tyler Staling getting hurt, you know, Jackson Tyner stepped in and did an incredible job. You know, you look at how he started that game. First drive, he gets a fumble. Defense steps up, holds him to a field goal. His second drive, he leads us down, you know, for a touchdown. And, you know, it was a great effort by him. Really, he had an interception, that turnover, but he made wise decisions with the football. I think having the same offensive line 3 weeks in a row has really helped this football team. They protected him well. They opened up some big holes for the running back. You know, they're communicating well up there. And you see the receivers stepping up and blocking physical. You know, number 1 has been Kylan Granson, just with his ability to catch the ball and with his size. He also carried the ball 4 times and averaged over 10 yards a carry. The special thing we did offensively, I thought, was that Cameron DeSell, as a senior, got a touchdown. Juwan Davis got a touchdown, and Derek Dillard scored a touchdown. So it was great to get those seniors in the end zone. Defensively, it's the finest, I think, defensive performance I've seen maybe since I've been here, of where they locked them down in the first quarter for only 42 yards. And, you know, their running back, Jones, had been averaging really right at 140 yards a game. And hold him to half his season average, it was really a nice defensive effort. Only had 4 missed tackles on the day, so we tackled exceptionally well. Getting JT Blasingame back was big for us. He challenged every route, having JT eBay, Cole Thomas, VJ Banks, Destry White. That was, you know, good for us in the secondary. Once again, Emmanuel Ellerby steps up and has 10 tackles, so he's over 100 on the year. Alex Lyons was solid. But I was very pleased with the defensive line as they were able to maintain their gap responsibility throughout the game. And Brian Womack had another fine performance with his sack that was a -12 and kept constant pressure and getting quarterback hurries. All those young men up there. But really pleased when Destry stepped up and got our first defensive touchdown in the second quarter of the year, gave us 28 points in the second quarter and really started pulling away. And the defense had only given up 3 points on that field goal where they started on the 25. So it was an outstanding performance, offense, defense. Our Jack Fox punting was incredible. 47-yard average. He put 1 inside the 20 again. He leads the conference in punts inside the 20. But our field goal block, our field goal unit has got to improve. We've got to get trajectory on the ball. We've got to protect better. Getting knocked back too far, and, you know, a lot of that's technique. You can't take any plays off, and that's something that has got to improve, and we will get that done. Heading to Stanford, they're an amazing football team. Coach Shaw is just incredible with the culture that he's generated and kept there. And y'all know they have really fine players. Defensively, they're as solid as you're going to see. And everything they do, they make you earn every yard. They're big up front. Of course, their tailback, just rushed for 284 yards, and it's quite a challenge for us to go to Palo Alto and play Stanford. And it's why you play the game. We're gonna go there. We're gonna play hard. We're gonna give it our best effort. I would say right now at this point they'll both get a lot of reps this week, but just based on his performance, and I would say he would. Well, it was. Yeah, you do hate to phrase it that way because it was not a blessing to lose Staling just the way he had been performing, but it was a blessing that Jackson got all the reps at practice Wednesday and Thursday because he was the only one that was, or all the reps Wednesday. Tyler was back Thursday. But I think a lot of it is you just go back to the Florida game where you didn't have JT eBay, you didn't have Cole Thomas, you didn't have JT Blassingame back, and you get those guys back. JT Blassingame's, a senior. That was his third ball game. He's played a full ball game he's played in this year, and he just makes a difference. We're an improved defense with JT Blassingame on the field. He challenged every route. He had pass breakups. He tackled well. Looks like the entire defense tackled so well. Saturday was one of the big difference defensively. Better tackle well again this week. Yeah, he's an amazing back. We've all seen him on TV, and he's not only just an amazing back. He catches the ball well. He everything he does. He's incredible out. Kick returns, punt return. He can do it all. And all the accolades he's deserved every one of them. No, you don't. Anytime you go play a Stanford, a Notre Dame, a university, your team's always excited for the challenge. We look forward to flying out of here Friday. And that's been the difference with, Preston Gordon's still the sophomore going, but you have Roe Wilkins, the redshirt freshman, has really stepped up. Miles Adams has really stepped up in there, and they're not having huge production, but they're doing their 111th and maintaining their gap control. So I'm pleased with how they've come together. And Grayson Shantz and Brian Womack and Blaine Padgett. Blaine's a sophomore, but he's got a lot of reps now. So they just continue to get better every time they step on the field. Yeah, it's one that really does. It truly it breaks your heart because, for 4 years he waited his turn, and you watched him each week get a little better and get a little better and get a little better. And he got better through a lot of adversity. He got better through all those different lineups, He got better through all those different receivers. And all he did was work, And every time you look at him all season, you admired him more for how he handled the adversity of he just kept working through it. He never complains. He just works. And when things would happen, he'd go in there and watch more video and took it upon himself to play as good as he could play this year. And you just look back at the Charlotte game to what he did. That was probably his finest performance. So that will hurt us, but it hurts your heart more because he is such a fine young man. But he's got a big-time future, and I don't know what it's going to be. But the way he fought through this year and the way he's responded, he'll respond well to this injury, and great things are going to happen for him. And this football team, you talk about, 100 guys, one heartbeat, and he was our heartbeat. Well, it's like I said, I think it's just the character of these young men. At no point, and we had like Zach Wrights here and Tabari, we've had some fine seniors who didn't let people throw pity parties. We came out here every day and we practiced like we were undefeated. They had a great attitude. And tribute to the seniors, tribute to the character that this football team has, that we're able at the end to pull it together and get some wins. I don't worry about that. If you worry about that, you're not doing your job. At no point has anybody ever offered me tenure. You treat every day as a coach like you're on a one-day contract anyway. And I'm just going to keep working. I'm going to keep taking great care of this football team. That's what I'm here to do. And 10 years ago, that's what I said. My number one priority was going to be these young men. It's still my number one priority. No. I think he still has a job. Last I checked, and he's the same way. We're all the same way. We just show up and work. You do your best and you sleep well at night, and I know that's what I've done every day. I don't know. I really don't know, other than that they have a fine football team and world-class academics like we do. They figured out a way to have consistency there year after year in their program, and we're still striving for that here.